Hey there, it's Texas. How are you guys? Have you ever tried to put too many items in a Publix bag? You can't force fill them. You sure can't, because if you get them too full, that one item too much, and on your way to the car or wherever you're headed, split and everything ends up on the ground. It's the truth. You cannot force fill something that is made a certain shape for a certain amount. If you put too much, it'll explode. And I say that to you because you can't force fill that spot that's in your heart, that emptiness you have, that void that you were created with. You were created with void that is made for God to fill, and only God can fill it. And if you stuff other stuff in there, either they don't fill it up and there's a lot of extra bag left and you still feel empty, or it explodes. In childhood, I wanted attention from other people, or I wanted affirmation. I came from a family who didn't do a lot of that. My parents were very busy trying to do what they thought was right, which was to help other people experience God. And, it was their flaws. It was their mistakes. We all got them. But the enemy had already planned to help me or push me into feeling like I wasn't enough, or that I needed validation, or I wasn't valued. Because if he made me feel that way, that space in my heart would be even bigger, and I'd be trying to push other stuff in it to fill it. And so I did that. And I did that with drugs, with men or people, just the attention of other people, or the attention. It could be negative attention. The police are watching me and they can't seem to figure out if I'm selling dope or not, or what's happening. Any kind of attention or fame or infamy or whatever it was all an attempt to try to fill that void, or money or cars or jewelry or clothing, or, I became a pretty good shoplifter for a while there. I didn't steal stuff to give to other people or to sell. I sold stuff for myself. I lived in a town that was very wealthy and they had all the best stuff. And so I started shoplifting. But all those attempts were to fill the void that was in me that really can't be filled any other way. But the wonderful thing about who God is that he knows that void's there. And he also knows what will fill it. And generally, it's the opposite of what you think. Writing my book, I never knew I was an author. I never knew that I was a writer. I didn't like to read. I didn't think of myself as someone who would spend time in front of a computer or anything like that. Public speaking, when I started doing that, I was horrified. And you know what? Both of those things, which seemed like things I wouldn't be good at or wouldn't enjoy, have fulfilled me in such a way that I could never even explain to you the high that I get feeling that people are understanding what I'm saying, that what I am getting across to them may make a difference in their life. That the reward of that is like nothing I ever experienced, nothing I ever stole, nothing I ever ingested. It's because it's filling a purpose that I have. It's because it's filling that spot that God left there. And it's just amazing. The Holy Spirit is amazing at filling you up with what you need, exactly what you need. And it fills every crack and crevice. How about homeschooling my grandchildren? I would never think that I would want to homeschool my grandchildren. But when COVID hit and my daughter didn't want her children wearing masks, I said, well, then I'm going to have to homeschool them. And I'll tell you what, homeschooling them was a great thrill. Every day I looked forward to, and I figured out that I really am a teacher. And I started looking back on my life and realizing that all my life I've been teaching people things. And I didn't even realize that was something that would fulfill me. See, because the enemy's good at distracting and saying, you're not valuable, you're not getting the attention you need. Go get it this way. Go do that. And then that leaves you with a bigger void because that isn't filling your spot. But if you'll slow down and listen to God, if you'll stop trying to force fill the bag with your own stuff, God will come in and fill you up in a way that's beyond what you can imagine. You know, now instead of drugs, I do eating and exercising things. I'm not a hard body. I'm not careful with every single thing I eat. But you know what? When I'm not walking, when I'm not eating right, I can feel the difference in my life. And so it's the opposite. Things that were damaging my body, now I'm doing things that are good for my body. I love being single. I don't know that I'll always be single. I don't know that I want to always be single, but I like being single. I like being still. I like being quiet. And I used to have people around all the time and stuff going on all the time to feel important or like action in my life, or just I don't know, to fill that void, and it never really filled it. And then I thought, well, now that I've written a book, I'm going to sell these books and I'm going to make money doing this. And then the Lord told me start giving them away. And then I started realizing that part of the void was that I wasn't giving back. And so giving books away has been the biggest thrill of my life. And who thinks you want to spend all this time writing and editing and paying to have it printed and then you want to give them all away? Seems dumb. But everything God does, He does in a different way than what you think He will. So stop trying to work things out your own way and let God fill that void. If you force fill the bag, it's going to explode. If you don't get the right stuff in the bag, you're still going to feel empty. The bag being your heart, your spirit, your mind, your soul. If you fill it with the right thing, if you obey what God tells you to do next, that space in you will get so full you won't need anything else. It's amazing. I've experienced it, and so can you. Have a great week. I love you guys. Have a great week.